In this video, we're going to show you the advantages of gardening in a raised bed, and we're going to start right now. What's going on, YouTube Gardener? It's your boy Sydney from the Naked Gardener channel. And if this is your first time to this channel and you're timid about gardening or would like to learn different DIY projects for your garden area, or would even like to learn different recipes from the vegetables from our backyard garden, then start right now by subscribing to our channel and making sure you hit the bell icon so that way you don't miss a thing. Now, after watching this video, you learned about the advantages of gardening in a raised bed and why we prefer this method. Now let's get growing. Now, as you can see, we're outside, and one of the main reasons why we do raised beds is because of the temperature. Now, with the ground, you have to worry about the ground being warmed up by the sun. Now, today is the first day of spring, and I just put this thermometer, just a regular thermometer that you can use for food or anything. You can clean it and sterilize it later. But right now, the temperature was at 58 degrees. Now, in the other raised bed that we have, the temperature is slightly higher. On my 6-inch bed, it's slightly higher at 60 degrees. On my 12-inch bed, it is at 62, 63, 62 and a half degrees. So it allows, doing it with the raised bed, you're allowed to have your soil get warmed up from all three sides, so you can get it warmed up on the sides, the fronts, and at the top. So the warmer your soil is, the sooner you can get your either your seedlings or plant your seeds in there. You want your soil to be about 65 degrees. So once you get your steady temperature where the nights are no less than 65 degrees, that's when the perfect time to either start your seeds directly or transplant your seedlings. So that's number one reason why we do raised beds. Now, the second reason why we go with the raised bed is because it allows for drainage. With a regular direct sowing into the ground, when you water or anything of that nature, you're not too sure what your soil quality is. Here in Texas, we have a lot of hard clay, so that doesn't drain very well. So with the raised bed, you have the ability to allow it to drain and go straight down without washing away any of the soil qualities of the nutrients that's in there. It just goes basically straight down. That's another reason why we prefer doing the raised bed, because of the drainage wise. The third reason why we prefer raised beds over direct sow gardening into the ground is for the fact that we have a better control of our soil. 70% of our soil here is compost that we've, as you can see right there, that we're brewing up and making some hot compost right now. And then the remainder of that will either add some peat moss or some coconut coir. Most of the times it's going to be either a garden soil or a potting soil if we can, and we'll add some additional vermiculite or some vermiculite or some perlite to the growing medium to allow water retention and aeration of the soil. After that, we'll incorporate either with some worm casting or some blood meal or some bone meal in there, and that's just going to feed your soil, the microorganism in the soil, the help it's going to feed your plants. So that is one of the other reasons why we prefer raised beds. Now, the fifth reason why we prefer raised beds over flat grounds is for the simple fact that it's ergonomically perfect for you. Now, the higher beds you go, the less bending over that you would need to do. The higher beds you go, however, the more of soil that you will have to put in there, which costs more money. Generally, you want at the minimum 6 inches. A foot is, the best way. The higher, you want to go is probably say 36 inches to go from there. So that way, less bending over that you will have to do. You can just, like I said, just get a chair, work your magic that you need to do into your garden beds, either by picking out weeds or harvesting or whatever that you need to harvest out of there, and kind of go from there. Also, with the higher that you do your bed, the more air that you're allowed to gain to your fruits, vegetables, plants, or whatever it needs, because that's what they all need, is some type of air to allow them to dry, especially if you're in wet climates or humid climates. You want them to allow the wetness and moisture to dry off its leaves so that it can cause any type of disease that you're going to be susceptible to. So that's one of the main reasons why we prefer raised beds instead of direct sowing into the ground. So those are some of the reasons why we prefer raised bed garden compared to direct sow into the ground. Like I said, it allows the sun to heat up your soil a lot faster, so that way you can get your seeds and your seedlings into the ground, so that way you can start your growing season a lot sooner, maybe even 1 week to 2 weeks sooner. It allows a better drainage for your soil, because once you're watering, it just keeps on soaking through and not just all over the place. So that's good from there. It allows you to have less compaction because you're not walking on it, you're not being on it. So with that, you're allowing your roots to have the amount of oxygen that it needs, because it doesn't have to worry about any type of compaction of the soil to suffocating the oxygen that it needs. It helps with your back, because the higher you go, the less you have to bend over. And the higher you go, you allows more air to flow through your vegetables, so that way if it's wet or damp or humid, that air will allow it to dry out, so it doesn't provide or cause any type of disease like powdery mildew, blight, all of those type of disease. Have you better control of your soil. You have that compost, then you have your other type of growing medium that you can put in there along with your fertilizer. You don't have to worry about having clay soil or sandy soil or too loamy or anything of that nature. You have the perfect quality to allow your plants to thrive in whatever condition that it needs to be in. So those are the 5 reasons why we prefer a raised bed. Comment down below to let us know how you're growing your plants. Now, everything is not always perfect. Now, there's some drawbacks to having a raised bed. The major drawback that probably prevents a lot of people from doing raised beds is the cost up front, because you got to buy the wood, you got to do the soil, you got to do the amendments and all this other stuff. But that's just the small part if you really look at it, because once you get your raised beds in, they just last forever. Well, I wouldn't say forever. It all depends on what type of wood that you have. Now, there's several types of wood that you can use. You can use redwood or you can use cedar. Those are one of the most expensive ones. Those can last anywhere from 10 to 20 years. Then you have your pressure treated wood. Now, I know most people feel that they have some type of arsenic chemicals in there that can leach out into the soil, but nothing could be further from the truth. Back in, I want to say 1980, I'll provide the link down below. I did some investigating about that. They no longer do any arsenic to coat the wood to provide it any type of pressure treatment. Now they do copper and sometimes aluminum. It's totally safe. And with pressure treated wood, those can last anywhere from 10 to 15 years. And then you have the least favorite wood that I never suggest doing unless you're just going to be there temporarily and you're going to just try it out just to see how it is pine. Pine can last anywhere from 5 to 8 years. Maybe you might be able to get to 10 years. But the best ones, if you have the money, will be to use the redwood. But you know, that's neither here nor there. Those are the main reasons why that could probably prevent a lot of people from using raised beds. So YouTube gardeners, hopefully after watching this video, you'll find out about the advantages of growing a garden in a raised bed. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the like button. And if you have any family members or friends that are interested in gardening and would like to start a raised bed, make sure you share this video with them. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss a thing. Now, we're not always on YouTube, so make sure you follow us on Instagram and also request to join our Facebook page. I'll put the links down below so that way you can go right to those. And I'm going to put a link right there showing how to start your seeds, and down right here is going to be a video that YouTube feels that you should follow for some strange reason. And right there, if you haven't done so already, like I said, make sure you hit our subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. And as always, let's grow together.